talk about enough. People on YouTube. How cringy it is to make a thumbnail. Like to take a selfie for your thumbnail. So awful. Just for shites and giggles. Try to make a thumbnail for yourself. It's unless you are like a selfie queen or selfie king. It's awful. Okay. Let's talk about my vacation. My little mini spring break vacation to Branson, Missouri. But before we get into it, you know the drill. You know the deal. We gotta do some channel maintenance, some channel hygiene. So, if you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. And if you're old here, go double check. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like if you like. Leave a comment. It could be anything related to the video. It could just be hello, a few emojis, whatever, as long as it's cool and respectful. Hit the notification bell. I link my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every $1 or $2 helps. That is what allows me to continue to make content. Also, you are invited to my Patreon. I know, not everybody can come, but you can't say you weren't invited. The link to my Patreon is down below, and I post a lot over there. I also opened up YouTube memberships. You can join by clicking the join button below, and that is content that is exclusive to YouTube memberships. So let's get into my Branson, Missouri vacation. I have never been to Branson. I have been to Missouri. I've just never been to Branson. And if you don't know, Branson is kind of labeled as a Wisconsin Dells or Vegas for families. I guess because it's kind of like just a long strip of stuff to do. A lot of the stuff to do is the same stuff that you see in the Dells or you see in a lot of vacation towns. Amusement parks, water parks. The most random, there's old time photos, which I wanted to do old time photos, but we didn't get to it. We'll get into what I did do, but just it offers an array for all ages, no matter the ages of yourself or your kids. There's stuff to do, you know. I personally would not go as just an adult, but you might if you like that stuff. We have a 4-year-old, so we're hitting all these spots again this time around. So Branson was on our list and we checked it off, and we'll probably go back one day while he's still small. So anyways, the drive from home to Branson is about 8 hours plus stops, okay? So we woke up, we hit the road at about 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., which was tough because my husband and my 4-year-old, they sleep in because they're more on his schedule than they are on my schedule. If that makes sense. So getting him out of bed at a time that was not the usual was already throwing a wrench into the attitudes. But we were like, no, we're going to Branson. And he kind of finally was like, okay, let's go to Branson. There's going to be fun stuff to do. So we're traveling. We stopped in a town called Mexico, Missouri. Small town. And pulled over. And there was like a McDonald's. We needed to eat. We needed to get gas. We needed to eat. There was a McDonald's and a Dairy Queen. Now, I've never eaten at a Dairy Queen, or I haven't since maybe I was a teenager or something. So it says like Dairy Queen grill and chill. I'm like, oh, maybe they have grilled options. No, but we were already in there. We're like, let's just eat and go. So I look up. I see the menu. There's like a salad with some breaded chicken. I ordered that. My 4-year-old got a burger and fries. My husband, burger, fries, whatever. I sit down and just, I should have looked. dressing on my salad. I take a bite and I said, there's bacon on this. Why must people just throw bacon on? There's already chicken on it. And it doesn't say, it just says like side salad with grilled chicken. If you look up close at the picture, you can kind of see some little bacon bits, but it didn't say that, so I was just like, oh, shit. I don't eat pork. My 4-year-old likes rabbit food, so he ate the salad. I ate some of his burger and a couple of the fries. They were all just like worse than hospital food. I would say it's like elementary school cafeteria food, maybe. I was just like turned off. I will never eat at a Dairy Queen again. Sorry, Dairy Queen. I'll get a dilly bar. Cherry dilly bar. But I'm never eating their food again. So, I also felt really bad because the employees were very, very elderly there. And I hoped that they wanted to be there working, not needed, but probably not. I just felt, what are these times that we're living in, you know? So, get back in the car. We're driving. About an hour out, my son, he's got his tablet, like, mounted on the car to watch movies. I don't care when it comes to long drives. Movies, okay? Back to back. And he's watching his SpongeBob movies, and he's like burping. It's like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, he didn't look good. So, I'm trying to tell my husband, like, okay, this doesn't, I think, but husbands do not take it as seriously as wives or moms. Dads are like, well, what? I'm like, no, I think we need to pull over. He's like, okay, give it a second. Well, my husband also, he's never puked. He puked one time in his 20s. I don't know how people get these goat stomachs, these stomachs of steel. So he doesn't get it. And he also doesn't get car sick. And all of us get car sick, so he doesn't get it. Like, he tries to get it. He's not like anti, no you're not, or anything, but he just doesn't understand how fast it can happen. So he's like looking for an exit, and I'm thinking more like, no, like now, pull over in the ditch, you know. We didn't make it. Puke in the car. Thank God. I was so surprised. Like, we got him out, we cleaned him up. I had to get out the suitcase out of the bag, put him in a new outfit, use the wipes. I always pack, you know, wet wipes and baby wipes and stuff. We're wiping the car seat down. Throw his soiled clothes in the trunk because they were good clothes. You know, I'm not going to throw them out. But it never stunk. That's the first time. I think because it was so fresh. And it was salad mostly. Which is, have you ever thrown up after a salad? Okay, TMI, but it's the worst thing. But it never stunk. It never stunk up the trunk. It never stunk up the car. Thank God. Because that would have been a long drive. And I've been there before. So anyway, we get there. We check in. I grab all the brochures to see like what we might do. We drop off our suitcases and we go out walking. We need to eat. So we went to, I can't even remember the name of the first restaurant, but I got just fish. I got like tilapia. I cannot remember what my kid got. My husband got, they split like this big fried plate of fried seafood. Like, I want my seafood regular, please. But they like it breaded. Well, my husband likes his breaded. So, we felt a little better after that, after getting a real meal, sitting down for a minute, hydrating, being out of the car. I was on motion sickness pills the whole time, so I was just extra tired, but I wasn't sick. Like, I can actually read in the car when I take my pills, but I'm so tired that I also can't read in the car. But we had passed the actual aquarium boys, so we went through the aquarium. That's the first thing we did, and it was really nice. It wasn't huge, but it was really clean, and it was really nice, and it had like a circus theme. I posted a picture of the Great Clambino, and you can push the button on the Great Clambino for a fortune. And my fortune was, friends are the ones swimming in while the others are swimming out. So, thank you, friends, for swimming in to be with me instead of swimming out. But it was really cute. And we got like a family picture there. We had to pay for it because I wanted one picture with all three of us that was taken by somebody else. I didn't want to have to hassle anybody, so we bought the stupid $20 picture there, and everything's expensive. If you've ever been to the Dells or Branson, you know everything's ridiculous, and you're just gotta make it back. You save up, and then you're paying it back too. But we did that, and then he got an ice cream from a little ice cream stand. I didn't want any of that. We went back, and we went swimming. Well, I didn't go swimming. I was beat, so I just went down to the pool area with my book, and my husband and my kid got in the pool, which they said was very cool. Ask you guys, have you noticed a big decline in hotel quality since the whole pandemic? Because I have. I don't know why. If you know why, if you work in the industry, like what's going on, but it's just not the same experience. And I feel like they're less staffed, maybe, or I don't know. But so they went swimming, and my kid was still freaked out by his last pool experience because if you remember the last road trip we went to, the Mall of America, and he just jumped in the pool. Like as we were setting our towels down, he ran and jumped. It was fine. He had like his vest on, but he didn't wait for us, and that pool was freezing. Like no adults would have ever, and so he like freaked out. So it was a little hard to get him going, but he did. After 5 minutes, he was out there not by himself, but like he wasn't holding on to his dad anymore. He was, doing his thing. And I'm reading, and nobody's turning the lights on. It's like getting pitch black in there because it was sunset. So all of a sudden it's pitch black, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll set this book down. I was like moving around trying to get light from the window with it. I couldn't get any at some point. My husband's like, do they turn these lights on? Because there is lights in there. I don't know. Later on, we had asked, and she's like, oh, I forgot to turn the lights on in there. So yes, they were supposed to turn the lights on at a certain point, but these people were swimming in damn near pitch black. We were done. Whatever time it was, we went up and crashed, right? To the vacation channel. I have like my little notes down here of everything we did. So we woke up, and I got dressed the next morning and realized that the dress that I packed was too short. Like, which would have been fine because I wear biker shorts under my dresses anyways, but I was like, I'd rather not. My husband's like, there's an outlet mall, and nothing else was open. It was pretty early. The outlet mall opened at 8. Pretty much everything else was like 10. Like, let's go down there. Big mistake because they had an Aerie outlet, and I love Aerie. I feel like their clothes are really good for sensitive souls, for people with like sensitive issues to clothing. So I did what I did. I'm not proud of it, but I did what I did in there. My husband was like at Old Navy. He got my son and himself a hoodie at Old Navy. There was a lot of other stores I wanted to check out, but we had to get going. So then we drove. Well, we wanted to do the tugboats, but there wasn't an opening until 3, which is a weird time for me. I hate 1 to 5. But when you're on vacation, you don't get the luxury of hating 1 to 5. Not when you're on with kids and stuff. So we drove out to Springfield, Missouri, where like it's supposed to be the best aquarium. It's voted / museum. Okay, so there's the tanks and stuff, but there's also, if you want to learn, you can learn there. And there's like a swamp area, a river area, the ocean area. It's something I'll remember forever. It's hopefully something my kid will remember forever. And we might have to make it back because my other son also loves aquariums, my adult son, and he wants to go see it. So we'll see. So that took a couple hours, and by the end we were like, we gotta get heading back because we're supposed to be on this tugboat at 3. So we go, we stop, and we try to get some Chick-fil-A. The Chick-fil-A there is even worse than our Chick-fil-A here. Like, the way you get in, if you're from Springfield, Missouri, maybe you know what I'm talking about, but that was a shit show. So we get our Chick-fil-A, hurry up and eat it, and zoom back out to Branson for the tugboats. If you don't know what a tugboat is, it is a bus that turns into a boat. You load onto the bus, it drives out to the river, lake, whatever, and then it just drives into the water and it turns into a boat. And it looks like it's just cruising, but it's floating down the river. And you get a little tour. Let me tell you one job I could never have. Tour guide. I could not be that on and that charming or whatever, or funny, silly, all day long. One of my cousins is a tour guide, and I can see how he has it. He has that special something. I have negative of that. Whatever that is, I have negative of it. And I was even not in the mood for it. Like, I couldn't get into it. I was so tired. And he's trying to be silly, and I'm probably just sitting there like the kids in my class, like, sorry. But it's for the kids. It's for the cheesy crowd, whatever. And sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I can get in it, and I couldn't. So I was just kind of looking out the window the whole time. But it was fun nonetheless. We got out on the water and got some fresh air, and it was super windy. We got to learn a little bit and see some of the views from it's called a lake, but it looks like a river. So we get back, and we're hungry again. A little hungry, so we decide we're gonna go like downtown. There's kind of 2 downtowns, if I'm explaining this right. There's like one downtown that's older, then there's like a strip along the river, so I guess like the river strip that looks like really new, and there's no traffic, it's just walkers, so it's really nice if you have a kid. So we went and parked down there and walked around for a while until we were hungry enough. My husband went into like a Lids. We went into a Bath and Body Works and just smelled stuff. My son likes to smell stuff with me. And then we went and ate at a steakhouse. My husband had a steak itch that he needed to scratch. We both got the steak with Oscar on top, and it was good. It was good. So it was like steak and then fish on top. And my kid got chicken strips or some kind of kid meal that he didn't eat. He picked off our stuff and he ate like 1 strip. You don't understand 4-year-olds. They'll go through weeks of eating and then weeks of picking. And you're worried, but as long as they're growing, doctor says it's cool. So we wrapped that up, and then my husband saw a place that had strawberry covered chocolates. No, chocolate covered strawberries. He wanted to get that, so we go in there all excited. And she's like, yeah, those won't be ready for a half hour. Of course. So we got like 1 big Reese's peanut butter cup. We split it between the 3 of us because it was pretty big. And headed back to the hotel. We did not have the energy to swim. Well, my kid did, but we didn't. So I showered up, got into bed with my book, and my husband and my kid took a bro walk. And they went walking around. He said he was, full of energy still, and he was just out talking. That kid can talk. So he wore him down a little bit more, and they came up. I was already dozing off. Put the vacation channel back on. My kid knocked out instantly, and my husband probably shortly after him. was time to come home again. Because we gotta get back, well, my husband had to get back to work. So, wake up. One big thing, my husband was not gonna let us leave without going to Buc-ee's. Now, Buc-ee's was back towards the Springfield area. So he puts it in the GPS, and we go, and we had a blast in Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is just a truck stop. It's just a big gas station. But we got a couple Buc-ee's t-shirts. We got a Buc-ee's water bottle. We got a couple steak and brisket and egg tacos for breakfast. I think that's it. Oh, my son got a little Buc-ee travel pillow. Buc-ee is a beaver. For those of you that don't know, Buc-ee is a beaver. And he was like, I want to watch the cartoon. Thinking that the gas station is made after a real character that's a cartoon. I was like, there is no cartoon. It's just Buc-ee the gas station. Buc-ee the mascot, if you will. So we're driving back, but at this point, I could recite too that he just wanted to keep watching Sandy Cheeks. The Sandy Cheeks SpongeBob, so we watched it 100 times. I'm starting to just repeat the words before they're even said. The script or whatever. Sandy Cheeks, y'all. Sandy Cheeks, y'all. I didn't know before that movie that Sandy was from Texas. Galveston, Texas. But eventually we have to stop again and eat. So we stopped at a Hy-Vee about 2 hours from home. And got just a big chicken breast that we all split. I don't know, we just weren't that hungry, but we knew we needed to eat. And we got cupcakes. So it was a chicken breast, a big chicken breast, a side of carrots, and cupcakes. And then there was a Starbucks in there, so we got if you haven't tried the cherry chai from Starbucks, try it, it's really good. We got that, my husband even likes it. I feel like I've talked about my husband way too much. I'm not usually, but whatever. There's 3 of us, okay. And I got this tumbler. Oh, it's got coffee all down the side right now on the other side, so I won't show you that. But I got this tumbler, and I got a purple tumbler. And then we got back in the car. We finished at our 2 hours. By the last hour, my kid was he was squirming, okay? And it's hard for a 4-year-old to be in the car for that long. So, we made it home, and he had the yard, and I had to go out and do dog damage or whatever, and then he could run around the yard. But we came from 80 degrees to 40 degrees. 80 to 40. I'm not happy about it. Anyways, I'm like out of voice. I need to drink my coffee. I need to figure out how this day is going to go. So I'm going to get going. If you watch this all the way to the